I'm about to reveal the exact method to use a specific circulation booster that can increase blood flow in your legs significantly, helping you move with more ease and less discomfort after the age of 60. Many seniors live with the daily frustration of heavy legs, a persistent coldness in their feet, or a sharp cramping sensation that makes a simple walk to the mailbox feel like a major chore. The uncertainty of whether your legs will support you through the day can be deeply unsettling, and it is very common to feel like your world is shrinking as your mobility decreases. As a doctor who has spent decades helping adults maintain their independence, I can tell you that the common advice to just take it easy because you are aging is often the exact opposite of what your blood vessels actually need. I remember a man named Harold, aged 72, who was so troubled by nighttime leg cramps and a tingling numbness in his toes that he had stopped going for his morning walks entirely. He believed his circulation was simply too far gone for natural help, and his previous doctor had told him there wasn't much to do other than wear tight compression socks all day. You might have been told something similar, that these symptoms are just a normal part of getting older, but this incomplete information can leave your legs starving for the nutrients they need to stay healthy and vibrant. 1. Drink 4 ounces of pure beetroot juice exactly 1 hour before you plan to take your daily walk. Starting your day with this concentrated source of natural plant nitrates provides your body with the raw material it needs to physically relax and widen the blood vessels throughout your lower extremities. I remember a woman named Martha, aged 74, who complained that her calves always felt tight and wooden after only 5 minutes of standing in her kitchen to prepare a meal. Her mistake was trying to push through the discomfort without giving her circulatory system a natural head start, which only led to more fatigue and frustration. We corrected this by having her drink a small glass of beet juice an hour before her most active time of day, and she soon found that her legs felt lighter, warmer, and much more responsive during her daily chores. The reason this specific timing is so effective for seniors is that it takes about 60 to 90 minutes for your digestive system to process the juice and convert it into a gas called nitric oxide. This gas acts as a gentle internal signal that tells the smooth muscles surrounding your arteries to relax and open up, allowing a much larger volume of oxygen-rich blood to reach your feet and toes. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less of this signal on their own, which is why your legs can feel cold or stiff even in a warm room. By drinking this booster shortly before you move, you are ensuring that the maximum amount of blood flow is available exactly when your muscles are working their hardest and need it most. It is very common for older adults to worry about the taste or the sugar content of fruit and vegetable juices, especially if they are monitoring their daily energy levels closely. Beetroot juice has a very deep, earthy flavor that many people find surprisingly grounding and pleasant once they get used to the natural sweetness of the root vegetable. Unlike high-sugar fruit juices that can cause a sudden spike and then a crash in your energy, the nutrients in this juice are absorbed steadily, providing a calm and consistent source of fuel for your heart and vessels. You will likely notice a subtle feeling of warmth beginning in your core and slowly spreading down toward your ankles as the booster begins to take effect, signaling that your circulation is opening up. Maintaining this habit creates a wonderful sense of predictability in your physical life, replacing the fear of leg pain with a reliable routine you can trust. When you know exactly how your body will respond to this morning glass, you can plan your day with much more confidence and stop avoiding the activities you love, like gardening or visiting with friends. It is a powerful feeling to know that you are actively nourishing the very vessels that carry you through the world, rather than just waiting for symptoms to appear. This simple, daily action is a physical investment in your own freedom and mobility, providing the structural support your legs need to remain strong and capable well into your 80s and 90s. To do this correctly, you should look for a bottle of juice that contains 100% beetroot with no added sugars or artificial preservatives. Measure out exactly 4 ounces, which is about half of a standard drinking glass, and drink it at a steady, comfortable pace about 60 minutes before you intend to be on your feet. It is best to drink it on a relatively empty stomach or with a very light snack to ensure your body can focus all its energy on absorbing the nitrates efficiently. If the taste is too strong for you initially, you can dilute it with a small amount of plain water to make it milder without losing any of the circulatory benefits. This supports a much more fluid and comfortable experience whenever you are walking or standing. 2. Mix a small pinch of high-quality ginger powder into your circulation drink. Adding this warming spice to your juice creates a secondary stimulating effect that helps to push blood flow into the tiny peripheral vessels at the very ends of your toes. I remember a man named Arthur, aged 78, who suffered from feet that felt like ice even when he was wearing thick wool socks and sitting by a heater. His mistake was focusing only on his larger arteries while ignoring the small microcirculation that keeps the skin and nerves of the feet healthy and warm. We corrected this by adding a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder to his daily routine, and within a week he noticed a comforting glow returning to his feet for the first time in years. The direct explanation for this improvement involves how ginger gently irritates the lining of the digestive tract in a helpful way, triggering a natural reflex that increases overall body heat. This heat isn't just a surface sensation, it is the result of your blood moving more vigorously throughout your entire system, reaching areas that might have been neglected for a long time. For seniors, the feet are the furthest point from the heart, meaning they are often the first place to suffer when circulation begins to slow down. The ginger acts as a natural booster for the beetroot juice, ensuring that the blood flow doesn't just stop at your knees, but continues all the way down to provide warmth and nourishment to your toes. Many people over 60 worry that adding spices like ginger to their drinks will cause heartburn or an upset stomach, especially if they have a sensitive digestive system. However, when used in very small, measured amounts, ginger is actually a well-known digestive aid that can help settle the stomach and reduce feelings of bloating. It provides a sharp, clean flavor that cuts through the earthiness of the beet juice, making the entire drink feel more refreshing and invigorating. By starting with just a tiny pinch and slowly increasing the amount as your body feels comfortable, you can enjoy all the circulatory benefits without any discomfort or irritation. It is a very safe and traditional way to support your heart and vessels. Beyond the physical benefits, the act of stirring a warm spice into your morning drink can become a very meditative and calming part of your daily health ritual. Taking those few extra seconds to prepare your booster with care reminds you that your health is worth the effort and that you are deserving of a body that feels warm and capable. This psychological connection to your own self-care is just as important as the nutrients themselves, as it helps to lower stress levels that can otherwise cause your blood vessels to tighten and constrict. When you approach your health with a sense of calm and curiosity, your body is much more likely to respond in a positive and healing way. You are essentially teaching your nervous system to stay relaxed and open. To implement this, keep a small jar of organic ginger powder right next to your beetroot juice in the kitchen so you don't forget this important step. Take a small measuring spoon and add approximately 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon of the powder directly into your 4 ounces of juice. Use a long spoon to stir the mixture thoroughly until the powder is completely dissolved and there are no clumps left at the bottom of the glass. Drink the mixture immediately while the ginger is still well distributed throughout the liquid, allowing the warming sensation to begin its work as soon as it hits your tongue. This supports a much more thorough and complete increase in circulation from your hips all the way to your toes. 3. Avoid using antibacterial mouthwash for at least 1 hour before and after drinking your circulation booster. Protecting the natural, healthy bacteria in your mouth is a vital reading context that determines whether the juice will actually work to increase your leg circulation or simply pass through your system unused. I remember a man named Paul, aged 75, who had been drinking beet juice for a month but saw absolutely no improvement in his heavy leg symptoms or his daily blood flow readings. His mistake was using a very strong, stinging mouthwash immediately after breakfast, which was accidentally killing the specific oral bacteria needed to activate the booster. Once we had him stop using the mouthwash in the morning, his circulation improved dramatically within just 3 days of his next glass of juice. The reason this oral environment is so critical is that the conversion of plant nitrates into blood vessel relaxing nitric oxide actually begins on your tongue, not in your stomach. There are very specific, beneficial bacteria that live in the grooves of your tongue and between your teeth that act as a biological key to unlock the power of the beetroot. When you use a harsh antibacterial mouthwash, you are essentially locking the door by removing those helpers, which means the juice cannot be properly activated to help your legs. For older adults who are often told to be extra diligent with oral hygiene, it is important to understand that not all bacteria are bad. Some are essential partners in keeping your arteries flexible and open. This information is often a surprise to many seniors, as we have been taught for decades that a clean mouth is one that has been sterilized with powerful minty rinses. However, modern science is showing that our bodies are complex ecosystems where the mouth and the heart are deeply connected through these tiny bacterial colonies. You do not have to give up your oral hygiene routine entirely. You simply need to change the timing so that you aren't interfering with your body's natural chemistry. By giving your mouth a rest period around the time you drink your circulation booster, you are allowing nature to do its job without interference. It is a subtle change that can make your natural health efforts much more effective and rewarding. Furthermore, realizing that your own body contains these helpful activators can change how you view your health as you age. You aren't just a collection of symptoms to be managed by outside pills. You are a living, breathing system that knows how to heal itself when given the right environment. This realization can significantly reduce the feeling of helplessness that often comes with chronic circulation issues or the fear of losing your mobility. When you protect your oral bacteria, you are participating in a sophisticated biological process that has kept humans healthy for thousands of years. It is a reminder that the most powerful health solutions are often found in the simple, quiet ways we treat our bodies every day, right down to the bacteria on our tongues. To manage this safely, you should schedule your toothbrushing and mouthwash routine for a time that is far removed from your circulation-boosting glass. For example, if you drink your juice at 9 o'clock in the morning, make sure you have finished your oral care by 8 o'clock or wait until at least 10 o'clock to use any strong rinses. If you feel the need to freshen your breath after drinking the deep-colored juice, simply rinse your mouth thoroughly with plain, room-temperature water several times. This will remove the color and the taste without harming the essential bacteria that are currently working to relax your blood vessels and improve your leg strength. This supports a much higher level of success with your daily circulation goals. 4. Consume your 4-ounce circulation booster at a very slow and steady pace. Taking your time to sip the juice slowly allows for better absorption and prevents the digestive shock that can sometimes happen when an older person consumes concentrated nutrients too quickly. I remember a woman named Evelyn, aged 80, who loved the idea of improving her circulation, but found that every time she drank her juice, she felt a sudden wave of nausea or a strange, fluttery feeling in her stomach. Her mistake was gulping the entire glass down in a few seconds, which was overwhelming her mature digestive system and causing her heart rate to jump uncomfortably. We corrected this by having her sit in her favorite chair and take small, thoughtful sips over the course of 10 minutes, and all of her discomfort vanished immediately. The explanation for why slow sipping is so beneficial relates to both your digestion and the oral activation process we discussed earlier. By keeping the juice in your mouth for a few extra seconds before swallowing, you are giving those helpful tongue bacteria more time to interact with the nitrates and begin the conversion process. Additionally, a slow intake prevents a sudden dumping effect in the small intestine, which can sometimes lead to a temporary drop in blood pressure that makes seniors feel lightheaded or dizzy. Taking small sips ensures that the booster enters your bloodstream in a calm, manageable stream, allowing your heart and vessels to adapt to the increased flow without any sudden stress or strain on your system. Many seniors feel rushed in their daily lives, even if they are retired, often trying to get through their health tasks as quickly as possible so they can move on to other things. However, treating this circulation drink as a slow, enjoyable ritual rather than a chore can significantly improve how your body receives the nutrients. When you are in a rest and digest state, Your body is much more efficient at moving blood toward your organs and extremities than when you are in a fight or flight rush. By sitting down and focusing on the sensation of the juice, you are signaling to your nervous system that it is safe to relax, which further helps your blood vessels to open up and stay flexible. It is a holistic approach to circulation that honors both your physical and emotional well-being. To do this properly, find a comfortable place to sit where you won't be interrupted for at least 10 minutes while you consume your drink. Take a small sip, just enough to lightly coat your tongue, and hold it for 2 or 3 seconds before swallowing calmly and completely. Take a deep, relaxed breath between each sip, allowing your shoulders to drop and your jaw to relax as you focus on the grounding, earthy taste of the beet and ginger. If you find yourself wanting to hurry, simply remind yourself that the slower you go, the more effectively your legs will be nourished and supported. Once you have finished the glass, remain sitting for another minute or two to let everything settle before you stand up to begin your hour of preparation for your walk. This supports a very gentle and effective entry into your daily circulation routine. 5. Pair your circulation habit with a daily 5-minute leg elevation routine. Combining your booster drink with a simple postural change creates a same-day lever that assists your veins in returning blood to the heart, preventing the pooling and pressure that often cause leg heaviness. I remember a woman named Linda, age 71, who often felt a dull, throbbing ache in her ankles by the time she finished her afternoon tea. Her mistake was staying in an upright, seated position for several hours after drinking her circulation-boosting juice, which meant gravity was working against her newly opened blood vessels. We corrected this by having her lie on her sofa and prop her legs up on 2 firm pillows for 5 minutes after her drink, and the uncomfortable throbbing in her lower legs vanished almost immediately. The direct explanation for why this is so helpful is that while the beet juice helps open your arteries to get blood down to your feet, your veins still have the difficult job of pushing that blood back up against the force of gravity. For seniors, the small valves in the leg veins can sometimes become a bit weaker over time, leading to fluid retention and a feeling of heavy limbs. By elevating your legs just slightly above the level of your heart, you are giving your circulatory system a much-needed break and allowing the fresh, nitrate-rich blood to circulate more thoroughly through your entire lower body. This prevents the bottleneck effect that can sometimes happen when blood flow increases but doesn't have a clear path back to the heart. Many older adults worry that they need to hold this position for a long time or that it requires a special medical bed to be effective. In reality, just 5 minutes of elevation is enough to reset the pressure in your lower legs and allow your booster drink to work more efficiently. This short period of rest also gives your body a chance to transition into a calm, restorative state, which naturally lowers your blood pressure and allows your vessels to stay relaxed. It is a very gentle way to support your heart without any physical strain or expensive equipment. You will likely feel a sense of lightness in your calves and a reduction in any swelling that might have started to form earlier in the day. To add this to your daily routine, find a comfortable spot on your couch or bed immediately after you have finished your slow-sipped glass of beet and ginger. Place 2 or 3 standard bed pillows under your ankles so that your feet are resting at a level that is slightly higher than your chest. Relax your arms at your sides, close your eyes, and focus on taking deep, rhythmic breaths for exactly 5 minutes. You do not need to stay in this position any longer than that to see the benefits. Once the time is up, lower your legs slowly and sit for a moment before standing. This supports much better fluid balance and a lighter feeling in your legs throughout the day. 6. Take a circulation walk exactly 60 to 90 minutes after your peak effectiveness window. Engaging in a steady walk when your nitric oxide levels are at their highest creates a long-term lever that helps strengthen and tone your arterial walls over time. I remember a man named James, aged 76, who wanted to improve his stamina for his weekly visits to the local park with his grandchildren. His mistake was drinking his circulation booster and then staying indoors all day, missing the opportunity to use that increased blood flow to actually train his blood vessels to stay open. We corrected this by timing his daily stroll to coincide with the peak of his beet juice effectiveness, and within 2 months, his walking distance increased by nearly double without any extra leg pain. The reason this movement is so essential is that the physical action of walking creates something called shear stress against the inside of your blood vessels. This might sound like a bad thing, but it is actually a very healthy form of friction that tells your arteries to become more flexible and resilient. When you walk while the beet juice is active in your system, your vessels are already in a relaxed state, allowing them to expand even further as your heart rate rises slightly. Over several weeks and months, this repeated process helps to exercise your circulatory system, making it more efficient at delivering blood to your legs, even on the days when you might skip your drink. Some seniors feel intimidated by the idea of a circulation walk, fearing that they need to walk long distances or at a very fast pace to see results. However, for those over 60, consistency is much more important than intensity when it comes to long-term arterial health. A steady, purposeful 10-minute walk is far more beneficial than a sporadic, exhausting effort that leaves you feeling drained. You are looking for a pace that feels like a gentle push, where you can feel your legs working, but you are never gasping for air. This regular, moderate activity is what builds the lasting strength in your legs that allows you to remain independent and active for years to come. To perform this correctly, check the clock exactly 60 minutes after you have finished your booster drink and put on your most comfortable walking shoes. Step outside or use a clear path inside your home to walk at a steady, rhythmic pace for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Focus on landing softly on your heels and rolling through to your toes, as this pump action in the feet further assists the blood flow you have just activated. Keep your gaze forward and your breathing calm, enjoying the sensation of your legs feeling warm and capable. This supports much greater arterial flexibility and long-term walking stamina. 7. A recent study shows that consistent nitrate intake from vegetables can reduce leg fatigue in older adults by nearly 20%. This recent finding provides a solid foundation of evidence that your simple daily habit is making a measurable difference in how your muscles function and recover. I remember a woman named Gloria, aged 73, who was skeptical that a simple root vegetable could really help her tired legs more than the expensive supplements she had been buying. Her mistake was looking for a magic pill instead of trusting the simple mechanics of blood flow and dilution that nature provides. After we discussed the light mention of a study showing how nitrates help muscles use oxygen more efficiently, she committed to her daily juice and was amazed to find she could stand at her hobby table for an hour longer without needing a break. The explanation for this improvement is that nitrates don't just help the blood get to the muscles, they actually help the muscles do more work with less oxygen. As we get older, our muscle cells can become a bit less efficient, which is why we often feel winded or tired after doing things that used to be easy. By providing your legs with a steady supply of these plant nitrates, you are essentially making your muscle fibers more fuel efficient, allowing them to contract and relax with less effort. This means you can walk further, stand longer, and recover faster from your daily activities without the heavy, aching fatigue that often follows a busy day. It is also important to realize that this effect is cumulative, meaning it gets stronger the more consistently you practice the habit. While you will feel a booster effect on the very first day, the real transformation happens after 3 or 4 weeks of daily use, as your body becomes accustomed to having these nutrients available. Many seniors find that after a month of this routine, they no longer experience the cold feet or tingling that used to plague them every evening. You are fundamentally changing the environment within your blood vessels, moving away from a state of constriction and toward a state of openness and health. It is a slow, steady process that yields incredible rewards for your mobility. To ensure you are getting the most from this research-backed strategy, make it a point to never miss more than 1 day of your circulation routine at a time. If you travel or have a busy morning, try to pack a small container of your juice and a small packet of ginger so you can maintain your habit even when away from home. Think of this as a daily nutrient delivery to your legs that keeps the machinery of your body running smoothly. When you see your mobility improving and your leg pain fading, you will have the confidence of knowing that your actions are grounded in solid, modern understanding of senior health. This supports a much more vibrant, active, and pain-free lifestyle well into the future. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video and subscribe for more simple health tips.